So for this part of the playthrough, I decided to port my world and player to the 1.4 version because there's new content there. Fortunately, world generation didn't really change, so it is not going to affect this playthrough. Here are the mods I am currently using. I've removed the useless ones because some were only good for 1.3, like smart doors, which is now a feature in 1.4. As you can see, 1.4 has some really cool menu themes, and best of all, the new content that Calamity has added. I will only be able to reach some of that post Moonlord, so we'll see. To begin hard mode, I went mining for palladium ore so I can make a set of palladium armor. Why did I choose palladium? I chose it because it has a really good healing buff when you hit an enemy. Once I got the set, I began setting some keybinds because I forgot to do that. So the first weapon for hard mode that I wanted to craft is called a True Caustic Edge, which is a melee sword that fires a powerful projectile that poisons enemies. So for that, I need to go get acid wood, therefore I went to the Sulfur Sea, but an acid raid event happened and I was not really in the mood to clear it out, even though I did. But, to make the weapon, you need flasks, and I didn't have a witch doctor, therefore I headed to the jungle and destroyed the queen bee with the caustic edge. I then went to the Brimstone Crag for the first time so that I can get some Essence of Chaos, which I would then use to make the Rock's Caliber. While I made that, I remembered something that happened a while ago in the world that was used in the Old Duke video I made on this channel. In that world, I decided to make a house next to the Sulfur Sea and dig a elevator where I stumbled upon a Rock's Caliber in a small cave, just in the ground like a tile. Once I mined it, I got the sword itself. Imagine if that was a legitimate playthrough. Anyways, I started preparing myself for the mechanical bosses. One thing I wanted to do before I fought them was get all the life fruit I needed to get 500 HP, which I did in around 20 minutes. Then I fought the twins. Check this battle out. Yes! Woo! I almost died, but I managed to kill him, and it was overall pretty easy. Then, my world was blessed with Mithril and Orichalcum. After that, I expanded my arena for the next boss on my list, the Destroyer. Before that, I wanted to get the Queen Slime mount, so I went to kill the Queen Slime 4 times, only to find that the mount was nerfed and it didn't behave the way it did in my expert playthrough. Go watch it, by the way. After that, I went to re-kill every single modded boss I killed in pre-hard mode, including the Torch God. But then, I fought the Destroyer. What just happened? Why is he so big? Yo, not good. Why is this so big? When I summoned the boss, I was confused for a second when I saw how big it was. You could immediately tell by my reaction. Anyways, I tried to kill it and I died right near its death, but the second time I killed it and died at the same time with the cost of the lives of all my NPCs. When I started playing, I wanted to kill the aquatic scourge, so I went straight to the sulfur sea to make an arena, which is just a simple 2-layered tall arena and some torches. Once I finished building the arena, I said screw it to the worm and fought the pirates. They were very easy and I destroyed them rather quickly. I used an OP strategy with the clam crusher to take out the flying Dutchman, check it out. OP strat. I went to check the recipe for the aquatic scourge summon called seafood. I went to my normal ocean to kill some sharks for their fins when I noticed that something is wrong. The background of the ocean is the sulfur sea background from the Catalyst mod, and that sulfur sea enemies were spawning instead of regular ones. Even the wasteland theme was playing. Does that mean I have 2 sulfur seas? If true, that would be a big problem because I need the ocean for some things. Once I came back, I decided to tackle the owner's army, thinking that it would be the same as pre-hard mode. Well, when I finished stage 5 and noticed there was another stage, I knew that I was screwed. The ogre is quite a tough enemy, and even though I managed to kill 2, I still failed to beat the event, therefore I didn't even bother with it. Now, for the next boss on my list, Skeleton Prime. I know you thought it was Aquatic Scourge, but I don't have any shark fins, so no worm for you. Once the battle began, I felt a little anxious because I didn't know what to expect. However, the boss was actually pretty easy, until you destroy all 4 arms. That's when it got harder, and I managed to get really low until I died. Okay, let me get rid of the laser really quick. Oh, let's go. So I tried again, and I fortunately succeeded. I then decided to go mining. When I checked my map so I could mine some things in the underground hollow, I was stunned. What? I thought I was on something for a second, even leading me to ask a friend if that's normal, but then I checked the in-game and I saw that yes, indeed the ores spawn naturally. Upon my arrival back at my house, I started upgrading my tools and equipment. I made the mechanical glove, the ink shield, some new weapons, etc. And then I made the biome blade. I was a little confused on how it worked, so I went to the astral biome and learned that the weapon can have 2 types of attacks at once based on the biome. The astral attack was pretty much just charging up the weapon until you could throw yourself at enemies to deal damage to them upon contact. The coolest one I found so far was the attack for the hollow. It has incredible visuals and is overall pretty cool. I ended this part by resuming mining. For this section of the video, I wanted to kill more bosses and I wanted to begin by killing Cryogen. I went to the underground snow biome to collect Essence of Helium. I gathered my potions and went straight into battle. I began the battle absolutely clueless to his AI, so I died, and then I fought him again and I killed him quite easily. After that, the Archmage appeared. Once defeated, I went back underground to collect Cryonic Ore to make Diabolus armor, which is quite strong. And then, another acid rain occurred, and I unwillingly ended the event because I was tired of the rain. And then I got cocky enough to try my luck at the Old One's army, and I somehow cleared it. After that, I went to make the Deerclop summon and I destroyed that bozo. Ever since I ported my work to 1.4, some things remain kind of goofy. I have 2 Sulfur Seas for some reason, and because of that, I can't get Shark Fins, so I turned Heroes mod on and I got myself 5 Shark Fins for the seafood. I returned to my world and made the summon, and then I summoned the worm. The boss was ridiculously easy and I killed him on the first try with my OP hammer. Once he died, Tier 2 of the Acid Rain occurred, and then I cleared that out too, but with a little more difficulty. After that, I went to the Brimstone Crag and started building an arena for the next nuisance on my list, the Brimstone Elemental. Once the battle started, I found it to be not too difficult. On the second try, I killed her and I was happy that was out of the way. Usually I had problems with the boss because Brimstone projectiles do ridiculous amounts of damage, including the debuff they give you. And then I squared up with the Calamitous clone. I had some problems with her and died many times. Check this out. No way! No way! Oh my god! It was the same things that kept killing me, which was the Brimstone Skulls or whatever they're called. Once I took my time at that part, I killed her and I was so happy. Next on the list is playing Terra. For the arena, I exploded a very big space and placed some platforms as well as walls blocking off the other annoying enemies. I wanted to begin this session strong and went straight for my next enemy, playing Terra. Check this battle out. Bro, that ball always right on top of me. I win first try. First try, baby. First try, baby. I somehow managed to kill her first try. What a great start to the session. After that, I went straight to the temple and started exploring it. I made it quite deep until I got harassed and died. However, I left with a solar tablet, and since I haven't done the solar eclipse yet, I decided to fight it and gather some broken hero swords. The Darklight Greatsword cooperated greatly with me, as it easily wiped out these nuisances. Once that ended, I went to go make an arid artifact to summon a sandstorm so that I can kill the Great Sand Shark mini-boss. After spending a long time in the desert gathering ancient cloth, I made the artifact and started killing some sand sharks, which is a way to summon him. And then, once the shark was summoned, he got... Oh. When I came back, I made the True Knight's Edge and the True Excalibur. Then I have two choices. I could craft a Terra Blade, which only did damage, or I could craft a Terra Edge, which does the same amount of damage as its brother, and it even heals the user. It should be obvious what I chose. After that, I killed the dead one more time in the dungeon to gather ectoplasm so I can use it to make different things such as Cores of Calamity. I needed to do that to make the next big upgrade, Tyrant Yaram's Ultra Sword, which shoots homing projectiles. After that, I worked on making Reaver armor, which is made by using Perennial ore. Now, I was prepared to tackle two events, the Pumpkin Moon and the Frost Moon. I decided to start off with the Pumpkin Moon, and I didn't get anything good other than money. I began the session by fighting the Frost Moon just so I can get it out of the way. It was definitely harder than the Pumpkin Moon, and it does have better jobs for me such as the North Pole. Well, the first time I defeated it, I didn't get the spear. Anyways, after that, I had to go defeat the Leviathan, which is my favorite boss by the way. Its theme is just wonderful. However, I'm sure you guys are aware of the issues my world has with 1.4, so I have no ocean to fight it in. Therefore, for these kind of situations, I made another world in 1.4. In that world, I went straight to the ocean and made a rather big arena and then annihilated the Wall of Flesh. After that, I just sat there at the ocean waiting for the question mark NPC to spawn, but it was nowhere to be seen, so I carried on back to my world to fight the boss in front of it, Ashram Aureus. This is where the pain truly begins. This boss is one of the most annoying bosses I have fought so far. He has so many projectiles that home in on you, and does a ton of contact damage. The most annoying part is when he jumps straight into me. I lost count, and I won't even go back and count how many times I tried to kill him. So I expanded my arena to 2 floors and decided to take a break. When I came back, I fought the Frost Moon another 2 times until I got the North Pole, which is what a friend suggested to me. Well, he was right, because after a few more tries, I kept getting Aureus lower and lower until he was finally... Homing! Again! They're homing! It's all homing, bro! All of it! This guy only shoots freaking homing projectiles! No, stop! Stop with the homing! I do the homing here, not you! Screw off, man. That was totally unnecessary. Please, 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 die! Where are you? Yes! Yes! Screw you guys! Yes! Bro, it's still fun with me. Stop! You. Now that the idiot is out of the way, I headed straight to the temple and made a simple arena consisting of 2 layers of platforms and tried to kill the golem.
Extra health regen. Okay.
Okay, he already does okay damage. Not stand still. Probably gonna throw them back or something. Jigsaw, I'll hold on to that. Bye. The fight itself isn't too difficult aside from the fact that he shoots so many projectiles that bounce off walls. I first targeted the head so I wouldn't die to lasers, and then killed his body all first try, which is nice. I then decided to go to the Abyss and collect some Scoria ore, and work on my next upgrade of my armor, hydrothermal armor, until I noticed something. I may have a sulfur sea, but the game does not detect that I am in the Abyss, therefore it's just a cavern filled with water and even jellyfish are there. So if I ever need to do something important in the Abyss, I'll do it in my other world. I began by upgrading my mechanical glove into a fire gauntlet. This thing provides a 14% melee damage and speed increase as well as 10% true melee damage increase. I reforged it and I decided to tackle the next event on my list, the Martian Madness. I had to wait a little bit, but a probe did show up. I cleared up the battlefield, but not too easily as these things did a ton of damage. Next, I had to prepare both physically and mentally for the challenge that was right in front of me. The boss that does a lot of dashing, damage, and gives you the plague. If you didn't guess, it's the Plaguebringer Goliath. This thing is so annoying. Before all that though, I expanded my arena to make it bigger so that I have more room. I noticed that this battle is going to be a difficult one on the first few attempts. I'll show you guys though. So I got a little frustrated and realized that this boss was never going to die if I lacked mobility. Therefore, I expanded the arena even more sideways, and now it is very big. And then, on the second try with that new arena, I defeated it. I wasn't super enthusiastic, it was just kind of another boss that was there, and I had to kill it for content. Afterwards, I decided to go to the Hallow and try and kill an old friend of mine, the Empress of Light, or should I say enemy. If you've watched my Summoner playthrough, you would know how many times I had to try no-hitting her for the Terra Prisma. Well, that doesn't matter anymore because I no longer have to no-hit. I summoned her by killing her pet bug, and then wasn't having too much trouble until the second phase, which turned into a bullet hell. Nevertheless, I died. I came back to fight the Empress, but before that I expanded my arena to make it bigger. Once the night came, I had to wait a really long time for a prismatic lacewing to spawn, but when it did, I killed it and tried to fight her again. And once again, nothing went according to plan, so I died to the easiest attack to dodge. You heard me, I'm skipping in typical Nightbreaker fashion. So this time, I decided to commit and kill something. So I went for the biggest nerd in all of Terraria, Duke Fishron. Obviously, I went in my other world and used the arena I built at the ocean. The first attempt was more of a learn the AI kind of attempt. I made it to the third phase and then I died. I noticed how early he goes in the third phase, which may have been a problem. Nah, I'm kidding. I destroyed him, but I still decided to farm him a little bit. When I came back to my world, I came in with Hero's Body. You might be thinking, well, isn't that cheating? No, it's not. Because I came back in to re-kill Fishron so that I have completed it in my main world. You'll be seeing this happen a few more times. Anyways, I made sure to get rid of all the OP items as well as the loot drop by Fishron so I don't profit. Now, I went to kill the next idiot on my list, the Ravager. This bozo has some pretty annoying attacks, so I fought him in the arena next to my house and I also used the one in the Astral Biome. despawn? You did not just despawn. So easy. And guess what? I killed him first try. As you saw in the end, he jumped up and down, so I barely even had to move. I sold some stuff, and then when I checked the boss checklist, I was terrified to know what I have to fight next. The Astrogeldon. So you know, I went straight into battle with him and died many times and I got him low. But then I had to go somewhere, so I left my world. I logged on, motivated to go fight the Catalyst mod boss, Astrogeldon, which used to be in Calamity mod itself. So I went straight into battle, dying many times just so I can learn the AI and get better each time. And then, believe it or not, I killed him, or so I thought. The moment he started floating in the air, I knew I was screwed. Then, all of a sudden, a sick background in the Rito border pulled up and I got completely harassed. Thank goodness I didn't have to fight the boss starting from phase 1, because that would take way too long. Anyways, I kept getting myself killed just for learning purposes, and I kept dying literally at the same parts. Honestly, I just gave up because I was barely doing the strong. So I moved backwards on my checklist and I'm finally going to kill the boss I said I was going to kill ages ago, the Leviathan and Anahita. So I began by logging onto my other world with Heroes mod and summoned the question mark NPC there, so I would have to wait ages for the idiot to spawn. I noticed that something was kinda wacky. I killed the fake Anahita, but the Anahita itself was invisible and my screen started shaking, and then the Leviathan pulled up. Now watch this battle. Yeah, anyways, they got completely harassed, and I did what I did last time to Duke Fishron. I killed them using the Exo Blade so I wouldn't have to do it legitimately. Then, I disabled Heroes mod. The worst part about what happened when I came back, I had to fight the Martian Madness again, and I actually got myself killed a few times. And then, I tried to tackle the Overlord's army again, but as you all know, I lost. Next things next, I went back to the Hallowed to try and kill my arch nemesis from 2 years ago, Empress of Light, but this time I wouldn't chicken out. So since I'm pro at this game, I killed her first try. I've noticed I got the Terra Prisma from the bag, which is nice on the Calamity Death part so you wouldn't have to fight it during the day. And right after that, I went to summon the lunar events by killing the cultist, which I did pretty easily, and then I proceeded to kill the solar, stardust, and nebula pillars. I left out the vortex pillar because I didn't want to fight the Moonlord yet. Once I saw what came before Moonlord, I was shocked. It was Astrum Deus. Ain't no way I have to fight another Astro boss. Well, I did anyways. But the thing is, this one is much harder than the last. The first phase is super easy, but the moment these MFs split into two, it becomes total chaos. Anyways, I gave up and decided to take a break. I logged on, motivated to go fight the Catalyst mod boss, Aster Geldon, which used to be in Calamity mod itself. So I went straight into battle, dying many times just so I can learn the AI and get better each time. And then, believe it or not, I killed him, or so I thought. The moment he started floating in the air, I knew I was screwed. Then, all of a sudden, a sick background in the Rito border pulled up and I got completely harassed. Thank goodness I didn't have to fight the boss starting from phase 1 because that would take way too long. Anyways, I kept getting myself killed just for learning purposes, and I kept dying literally at the same parts. Honestly, I just gave up because I was barely doing the scratch on the count. So I moved backwards on my checklist and I'm finally going to kill the boss I said I was going to kill ages ago, the Leviathan and Anahita. So I began by logging onto my other world with Heroes mod and summoned the question mark NPC there so I would have to wait ages for the idiot to spawn. I noticed that something was kinda wacky. I killed the fake Anahita, but the Anahita itself was invisible and my screen started shaking and then the Leviathan pulled up. Now watch this battle. Yeah, anyways, they got completely harassed, and I did what I did last time to Duke Fishron. I killed them using the Exo Blade so I wouldn't have to do it legitimately. Then, I disabled Heroes mod. The worst part about what happened when I came back, I had to fight the Martian Madness again, and I actually got myself killed a few times. And then, I tried to tackle the Overlord's army again, but as you all know, I lost. Next things next, I went back to the Hallowed to try and kill my arch nemesis from 2 years ago, Empress of Light, but this time I wouldn't chicken out. So you know, since I'm pro at this game, I killed her first try. I've noticed I got the Terra Prisma from the bag, which is nice on the Calamity Death part so you wouldn't have to fight it during the day. And right after that, I went to summon the lunar events by killing the cultist, which I did pretty easily, and then I proceeded to kill the solar, stardust, and nebula pillars. I left out the vortex pillar because I didn't want to fight the Moonlord yet. Once I saw what came before Moonlord, I was shocked. It was Astrum Deus. Ain't no way I have to fight another Astro boss. Well, I did anyways. But the thing is, this one is much harder than the last. The first phase is super easy, but the moment these MFs split into two, it becomes total chaos. Anyways, I gave up and decided to take a break. I logged on and immediately went to kill these bozos. My weapon of choice ended up being the Briny Baron because of its homing capabilities. Here's a spoiler for this entire part. I spent 1 hour and 9 minutes constantly trying to kill them and failing miserably. I wasn't even able to kill one of the worms that split, so interested that Okay, that's the strat. So after I was furious with Astrum Deus, I asked my friend for help and he suggested to me a weapon called the Tenebrious Tides. I had no idea what it did, but I trusted him. So I checked the recipe and saw that I needed to get quite a good amount of stuff. I needed the Amadeus Trident, which I bought, an Atlantis, an Influx Weaver, 20 Sea Prisms, 50 Luminal, and who could have guessed, a bit of Tenebris, to be precise, 25. So I wanted to make this fair and not cheat my way out of this, so I decided to gather my resources from the not glitched abyss in my other world. I built a small hut with a respawn point at the edge of the Sulphur Sea and went on to gather resources. I got all the Tenebris really quickly, but the Luminal was a different story. It takes a long time for it to drop from enemies. Once I made it to the 3rd layer and I tried to get into one of the islands, I mined into Luminal. I didn't even know that there was Luminal placed there, so I zoomed in fully and started mining a ton of it. I also drowned many times in the abyss, so I decided to upgrade my diving gear, but I needed some things from chests in the abyss. I went back down there and opened chests until I got a Death's Charm and Anacord plating, as well as iron boots. I couldn't make a diving suit yet, so I made the next upgrade available. Then I realized that I kept drowning in the abyss because I had my Arctic diving gear in my vanity slot. I am an idiot. Once I got all that I wanted, I went to visit my favorite section of the abyss, the Void. It is pretty scary down there, especially with that menacing theme playing. I was gonna loot the chest at the bottom, but my bubbles ran out and I quickly ran out of air, so I drowned super fast. Before anything else, I moved the wizard to the Hallow so that I can buy the Rod of Discord, which will absolutely come in handy. After that, I went to wait and summon a Martian Madness so I could try and get the Influx Weaver, but that damn Martian probe wouldn't spawn. I think I waited 30 minutes and nothing happened. I then checked the boss checklist to see if I could spawn it, when I noticed that it shows what items are dropped during the event, and if you got them before. Once I saw a check mark on the Influx Weaver, it confirmed that I got it. So I turned Heroes mod on and I got the sword from there. Then I went in my other world and killed Leviathan twice and got no Atlantis, so I stole that from Heroes mod as well just to save time. Once I returned to my world, I made the Tenebrious Tides, and when I shot it in the air, I was disappointed. It shot one projectile. I thought my friend trolled me, but he did not, because when I went to fight Astrobdeus, this thing delivered. What? I did it! I did it! Let's go! Ha! I did it! As you have seen, when it hits an enemy, it spawned multiple projectiles from random locations and it shredded the poor guy. And after all that, I mined the Astralore and made the true Biome Blade. It pretty much did the same thing as the other one, but it was stronger. So I tried fighting Astrogeldon a few more times, but I ultimately gave up on him. If I fight him again, it's gonna be in another video, not this one. Now, it was time for the final boss of Hardmode, the Moonlord. I'm sorry to say that I killed the Vortex Pillar and the Moonlord, but I wasn't recording. It was the first time this happened. Here's the proof. This works? Okay, good. So guys, you see this right here? Yeah, I beat the Moonlord, but guess what? I forgot to record it. So, just for the sake of you guys, you know, I'm going to show you the evidence. And I forgot to collect the Vortex. I killed the Vortex Pillar, but I can't show it to you guys. Oh my god, bro. I'm actually sorry. Anyways, yeah, we got the sigil, we got this thing. I killed them, but I forgot to record, bro. That's the first time that happened to me. Like, genuinely the first time. I'm so confused. Oh, I'll fight him one more time. This might take me 2 attempts though, because and I'm not connected at the same this time it's recorded. So, yeah. Okay. I recorded it. I have it. So, I want to thank you guys if you guys made it all the way down to this section of the video, because I know how long and boring my series may be. But if you find it enjoyable, or if you did enjoy this video's editing, please drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment, give me some feedback, tell me how I did, maybe like, some editing improvements, because the only reason these videos are coming out in a decade is because this takes a long time to edit. But like the longest part about it is actually gathering like the footage or like playing the game, because you don't know how long it takes me to like fight bosses. You guys seeing like just a small clip of me beating the boss and like some deaths, but in reality that boss might have taken me like an hour and 30 minutes or something, So thank you guys so much, and I'm actually gonna like work on Post Moon Lord, but I'm gonna give you guys a head up right now that that's gonna take a while, because Post Moon Lord is hard. I've had this experience, like, I played Revenges in the past, but now I'm playing Death, so it's gonna be a little harder. Anyways, thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys have a good one. See ya.